Please take your seats quickly, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Tennis Weekly with Joel, Kim and Chris, brought to you by the UTS Grand Final and...
Welcome to our
2023 end of season
Tennis Weekly holiday quiz.
Kim, Chris, today is the 4th of December and we are here to catch up on the year in tennis at Tennis Weekly HQ. We're not catching up on the week. The tennis season is over, and what better way to enjoy the holiday season than with our season tradition, the Tennis Weekly holiday quiz.
Ooh, exciting. I've honestly been looking forward to this all year. As we've recorded episodes every Monday, I've thought, that would be a great thing to put in the quiz. So now it's finally here. And also we have Chris back. He's returned.
I had to come back for the quiz. I mean, I also look forward to the quiz, and I just thought
this is the main event for you. It's not Malaga.
It is. I can't have one of you two winning this. I need to. I'm not sure if I won it last year, but I need to make sure that this year I put in some solid performances. I want to end on a high, Joel.
Well, hang on. I actually already know this is the case, Kim. I don't know if you noticed, but earlier today, Chris put up a vote on who was going to win the quiz, Joel, Kim or Chris. And I couldn't help but notice he used the Tennis Weekly podcast Instagram and Twitter account to vote for himself. I don't know what you make about that, but that's already some collusion going on.
I would have to say that I do still have a fever, and so maybe that's what happened. And it was
your
an
finger
accident.
Slipped, did it? And you can undo the vote.
Interestingly, I actually didn't do that on Twitter, but on Instagram, the vote is 35% for Kim, 24% for Joel, and 41% for me. But turns out there's only one vote in it. So I would say that Kim and I are joint favourites, but Kim did vote for me as the person she thought would win. So I think it's all very confusing here. But I think Kim and I both think I might win this.
It gives us good motivation, well, me and Joel, to try and, knock you off the betting odds top position, I suppose, Chris. But yeah, I'm just pleased you're back, because obviously we were missing you in Malaga. You weren't very well, and you're getting there, aren't you? So welcome.
Yes, I survived pneumonia, and I'm back in business. I'm back in Copenhagen, and I'm back in Tennis Weekly HQ.
I did love the fact that were you watching the ATP Next Gen Finals from your sickbed?
I was very confused that they played to 4. That really did throw me. But then I was streaming a bit of an ITF Valencia event as well.
Here we go.
As you do.
Well, when Prime goes, I've got to get ready to get into the ITF to make sure I always have tennis at my fingertips.
Listeners, you'll be pleased to know there isn't an ITF specific round tonight, or today, I should say. We're recording this in the evening, but you may well be listening of a morning. But before we get into the quiz, we do have quite an important announcement, don't we?
Yes, we do, Kim. And it is the announcement that our Tennis Weekly crowdfund is now open. It's very, very exciting. Something we do every year. We are, of course, a by fans, for fans podcast. We have been going 6 seasons. We have produced 390 episodes, believe it or not. And we really do rely on our listeners to help support and financially back us to produce each and every episode throughout the season. So this is a really, really important time for us. I know we've got the quiz and it's all very exciting. But yes, the Tennis Weekly crowdfund is now live.
Yes, it's been an incredible year for us here at Tennis Weekly, and big thanks to our listeners for making that happen. We had a really great engagement with our crowdfunder last year, and that meant we could keep going over the last 12 months to really grow the team and the podcast. As you know, Chris has joined us full time. We've been lucky enough to attend, ATP, WTA and ITF tournaments as kind of media accredited journalists. And that means we've been able to get up close to pose some of your questions to top players. If Joel's spoken to Andy Murray, which, I think he's still kind of recovering from that. But also the likes of Casper, Ruud, Andrey Rublev. We've been able to get more insight from top players to bring to you guys. And big thanks as well to our expanded team team. We've had Alina and Christopher helping us in a volunteer capacity to really overhaul our visuals and social channels and produce the podcast as well when we're out and about. So massive thanks to everyone, listeners, volunteers and the wider team to help us do what we do and what we love to do.
And something that comes with all of this is that there is a significant cost to running a podcast. So whatever we get from the crowdfund and our sponsorship, we do reinvest into covering the growing cost of podcasting. And this covers things like our tech capabilities, our sound systems, the licenses for the software that we use, our website and social media fees. And if there's something left over, then we use it to support travel and accommodation when we attend tournaments, so we can give you the ultimate fan insight into life on tour. And so it's these sort of costs and expenditures that make our annual crowdfunder so important to enabling us to keep running the podcast without too great of a negative balance sheet at the end of each year.
So, listeners, if you want to show your support for the show, the Tennis Weekly crowdfund is open. We will put the link in the description. We are now with GoFundMe, and the link is www.gofundme.com/tennis-weekly-2024. That's www.gofundme.com/tennis-weekly-2024. We'll put the link in description. We really appreciate anyone who shows our support. If they can financially do that, that's great. But even listening to the show into 2024, it is honestly what motivates us, put scripts together. We do have full-time jobs, so we do this purely, on the side, and we treat it, respectfully and professionally. And when we get feedback and engagement, we see it on our social channels. It really kind of drives us to kind of continue and put out all of these episodes.
And another way that you can also support us and the podcast, if perhaps donating to the crowdfunder is not your thing, we do also have our Etsy Christmas sale happening at the moment, where you can get 20% off all of our lovely tote bags and hats. So if you're looking for maybe a perfect stocking filler for a listener or a tennis fan, then do check out our Etsy shop as well for our Tennis Weekly merch, which is all currently at 20% off. You can go to etsy.com/shop/tennis weekly podcast, and the link will also be in the description if you fancy checking that out and supporting us in that way instead. And now, without further ado, I think we should go on to the quiz.
It's quiz time.
Oh, quiz time!
Woo!
Quiz time!
What are the rules, Joel? Tell us.
What are the rules? I know I'm hard quiz master here, but yeah, we've kind of split up duties of the quiz. We've got 30 sections.
30 sections. That's a lot of questions.
We've got 30 questions split across 3 sections. We're going to have an ATP section, a WTA section, and then we're going to have a Grand Slam stroke team competitions section. And there's also going to be a little surprise round at the end. So make sure you listen to the end. But all questions are going to be worth 1 mark. If you do need more time for thinking about your answer, then just simply pause on whatever device you're listening to us on for extra time. Of course, no Googling. We have made sure the video is on for this episode, so I can look at Kim and Chris and they can look at me, so no one is looking at their phones when someone is asking a question.
Well, Kim didn't vote for you, so don't let that knock your confidence, Joel.
No.
Because I believe that you can do anything, except I will have to say I've made it harder this year, I think.
Oh,
I think
I'm
last
nervous.
year we were all quite nice to each other.
I
No?
think I've made mine less hard because I think in previous years I've gone a bit OTT.
I
So
think Kim tends to be the most difficult questions, but I believe that I'm starting.
yes, Chris is the first round.
Yes. The
You're
first of
posing
30
questions.
rounds.
Yeah. You're in for a marathon, listeners.
Yes.
Yes. You are running the first round. You are asking me and Joel questions about the ATP Tour. Is this fair? Should we not have, got Chris to do WTA questions to us, Joel? Because now Chris is going to be, in his prime.
No, I
on
think this is
round
very
2
fair.
when it's WTA.
Kim, I needed to give myself the best chance of defeating you in a section. So that's how this is
Joel
is
wanted to
materialized.
answer on ATP. That
Yes.
makes sense. Well,
Oh,
I will say one thing to clarify before we start. Whoever and whatever the person has on their answer sheet is what we have to go by. So no questioning. We are all friends here until we get to a very highly debated question. But I have the ATP questions. We have some multiple choice, and we have some where I will need you to give multiple parts of an answer to get a point.
Okay.
So it's a bit of a mix. And I think without further ado, we should kick it off. Are we ready?
We absolutely should. And I'll be keeping a tally of scores.
Which end of season top 20 player didn't win consecutive matches for 18 straight tournaments between the Australian Open and the US Open?
End of season top 20 player. That implies they've just recently got into the top 20, maybe.
Oh, goodness. She might be
Am I
giving Joel
reading
some
too
help.
much into it? Oh, I might. Oh, well, listeners.
I think
I'm trying
there's
to
a lot of logic there, Kim, but
see the thought processes.
That is tough. I've got an answer. I don't think it's right, though.
well,
Yeah, I've got an answer as well, but I don't think
shall
it's
we
right.
go? Shall we go for Joel first, given that Kim might have given him some help there? What do you think, Joel?
Felix Auger-Aliassime.
That's what I put down as well.
Well, interesting. I can say that both of you are wrong.
Oh, no.
I think I've pitched this at the wrong level, lads. The correct answer was Ben Shelton.
Oh, right. Yeah, because he didn't do so well until
Yes.
later on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I can see that.
And
yeah.
Felix Auger-Aliassime is actually not a top 20 player at the end of season. He's ranked
right.
he's ranked at 29. That bar result wasn't enough to get him back into the top. Well, we're not off to
this is
a great
good start. This is a good start.
The vibes are not flowing, but we have a multiple choice question next. And it concerns probably one of the biggest names on the tour, a certain Maxime Cressy. And question 2 is, what record did Maxime Cressy break in his first round in Dubai? Was he the earliest man to achieve 200 aces in a season? That's option A. Option B, was it the most consecutive ATP losses for a top 40 player? C, the most double faults in a 3-set match in the Open era? Or D, he had the highest percentage of serve and volley points in the Open era?
Ooh, that's still quite tough, Chris. Even though we've got multiple choice, but
I think I know the answer.
I think
could have
I've
given
got
you
a feeling.
50-50, couldn't I? I don't know why I've done 4 options.
No,
Sorry,
that's
buddy.
all right. I think it's my turn to go first, isn't it?
Yes,
so
it is, Kim.
I'm going to go for option C, the double faults.
Yeah.
I think that might be
That's
the one.
where I was leaning towards as well.
Leaning towards, is that what you put down, Joel? You
Yep.
committed to paper?
I'm committed to C as well. Yep.
Well, I can tell you that it was option C. So
Yes, points on the board.
Things are looking up. He hit 25 double faults and 27 aces, and he actually saved 13 or 14 break points in that match. So it didn't seem to hinder him too much, but he did actually lose to Felix Auger-Aliassime, who's already come up in the quiz as a wrong answer. So we're full circle on question 2. Well, we'll move on to question 3. And this is about what you could argue was the upset of the year, and it happened in Rome when a player playing in his first ATP main draw took out Carlos Alcaraz in straight sets. But who was it? No options here, I'm afraid.
Oh,
Joel is nodding, Kim. Joel is nodding.
I know
this.
you look really
think I know
confident.
this.
You've got to give Kim a little bit of time here because
Yeah.
Joel is like ready to answer.
I know he lost to someone, but what's that person done since?
He's done one.
Nothing.
He's done one
He's
thing
a
since.
one-match wonder. I
Oh,
think he's going to be a
gosh.
one-match wonder.
I'm never going to get his name.
Can you tell us anything about him just to redeem yourself?
Russian?
Ooh, not quite.
No. Kazakhstan? Ukrainian?
No.
I don't know.
Right,
I
Joel.
don't know.
I
Joel's got
believe,
this.
I don't know the first name, but I believe the surname is it Marizan? Marizan?
It is.
Oh, the Hungarian
Marizan.
player.
It is the
Yes,
Hungarian
come
player.
on.
Come on.
Well done.
He was the world number 135 from Hungary, and he won 6-3, 7-6 in the
Incredible.
third round in Rome. And I can tell you, he actually has done one thing since. He did actually take out Casper Ruud in Shanghai in the round of
Wow.
16 in 3
Okay.
sets. So he had 2 tournaments where he could play tennis this year, and he had some very impressive performances. But upset of the year for you guys, do you think so?
I think it's upset of the year that I'm leading Kim at the moment in this section.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, well, the listeners and Kim also thought this wouldn't be happening, but it's early days, so they're not getting easier. But question 4: this year saw a record-breaking fine for the ATP Tour of £125,000. That's 144,000 euros, which was later halved under the condition that he doesn't receive another violation for next year. Who received this mammoth fine? And can you tell me what it was for?
Oh, I'm smiling. I'm
Golly.
smiling, Kim.
It's tricky. We did do a clip of this on the podcast, so this is where my inspiration came from.
I know the player. I'm pretty confident I know the player. I'm just trying to think of the reason.
If you don't get the reason, I will still be lenient on points if someone does get the correct answer.
Okay.
I'm a kind quizmaster today.
Yeah, I mean, I could make a guess based on
if you
players
guessed
that
what
we
it,
have.
You could guess what it was for as well. Come on, that would be quite fun.
Am I guessing first? I am going to say Sasha Zverev.
Yes.
For verbally abusing a member of the crowd.
I mean, honestly, that could be right.
That
but I can
could
tell
well
you
be a case.
it's a
couldn't it?
wrong answer. But
Oh,
Joel,
dear.
I believe this happened earlier in the season. I believe it is Hugo Gaston.
and what happened?
Now that is where my brain goes fuzzy. I seem to remember it being at the back of the court. Did he? It's tough.
What was he doing back there?
I was trying to think. I'm just trying to think.
Having a cup of tea.
Yeah, he was just getting a pit stop.
He's just chilling.
Did he say a ball was out when it was in, or something like that?
We were in Madrid. It did involve a ball. It was Hugo Gaston, and he actually threw a ball out of his pocket to try and claim a let.
Yes,
when he was
that
down
is
in the
naughty.
something
point.
really.
The audacity. It was pretty shameful because if a ball falls out your pocket or your cap falls off, for example, then you do replay the point. And I think potentially he saw that his shot maybe was going out or he was down in the point, and then he did it and he got a big fine. So, I mean, it isn't good and it was obviously cheating. So he did get a big fine. There was a lot of controversy around the size of it. But yes, Joel, very well done.
So do I get a point, or is that a half point, or
I'm going to give
say?
It's points or no points. So I'm going to give you a point because you
One
did
whole
get Hugo
point for Joel?
Yes,
Okay.
I am for that.
Wow.
I think it was a bit harsh to not do that. But maybe Kim, you can be harsh on Joel when you have your round.
No, that's fine. I think Joel's merited that.
Question number 5. We saw the longest ATP final in history in 2023 at 3 hours and 49 minutes. Where was it? And who won it?
ATP final.
I've got an inkling on this one.
I really hope Kim gets this. No offense, Joel.
I've only got one right so far.
I am struggling here.
What would you say?
It feels like it should be on a clay court.
I feel like you would go for Sarah Cerebros Tormo anyway.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, even though she's
Mate,
WTA.
Who is the Soros Cerebros Tormo equivalent on the men's side?
It's probably Andy Murray, to be honest, isn't it?
I'm struggling here. I think it's slow clay court. Bastad and Casper Ruud versus, was it Holger Rune? That's what I'm going for.
Okay, a match that didn't take place.
Yeah.
Kim?
I don't know.
I was going to say, is it Cincinnati Alcaraz Djokovic where
It
Djokovic
is.
beat
Oh,
him?
yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
Kim,
yes.
that is
That's
very
a
good.
fantastic one.
Very good
Okay.
knowledge.
Kim with the point.
What a great final that was as well. I'm embarrassed I forgot about that
I
one.
mean, that was pretty memorable. That was the only victory that Djokovic had over Alcaraz this year,
Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah.
So that meant a lot, especially after that Wimbledon final. So question 6 is also one where you can't be that wrong. So I think this is going to be a bit of a leveler. Medvedev and Zverev played 6 times on the ATP Tour in 2023. What was their 2023 end of year head-to-head? And this is just for the 6 times. So how did they split those 6 matches is what
Great
I'm looking
question.
for.
They played quite a lot.
And so I think Kim is going first on this one.
I'm gonna go 3 apiece.
Okay, Joel.
Joel's giving a
I'm
very
not sure
dismissive
about
face
that.
there.
I'm not sure about that. I was actually going to go 6-0 Medvedev. Did he get a token?
I think Zverev definitely
Did
won
Zverev
one.
get a token victory? I'm going to go 5-1. I think Medvedev by landslide in that
Did
head-to-head.
Kim just help you? But the correct answer is 5-1.
Oh.
Are we going to give Joel the point there? Would he have convinced
Yeah, 'cause-
himself? Oh, we're all friends.
No, I just
here.
said at least, yeah, no, that's fine. Joel can buy the
Yes.
churros when we next
Yeah.
meet.
Yeah, he can. Or maybe at the Christmas party. You still haven't told us when that is, Joel. But we also, I can tell you that Zverev won his only win was in Cincinnati. So, and that was a hard-fought win. So 5-1 is not a great head-to-head. And we're actually moving on to another very bad head-to-head for question 7, which I'm sure...
Is that Chris versus Kim in Par for the Courts this season?
I actually think it might be Chris versus Joel, but we will go or Joel versus Kim. But no, question 7 is another very, very painful head-to-head this year for any Brit fan. Alex de Minaur was Andy Murray's kryptonite on tour. He defeated him 4 times. Which of these statements is true of their 2023 clashes? Option A, Andy Murray was a breakup in the first set of every match. Option B, Andy Murray had match points in all of the encounters. Option C, Murray was defeated on every surface, clay, grass, outdoor hard and indoor hard. And option D, Alex de Minaur had never beaten a player 4 times in one season.
They all could be true in my book.
They all sound plausible, don't they?
Well, I had to make some of them up, so I'll take that as a compliment.
Right, I think I'm going first.
Yes, Joel.
I'm
Yeah, I've
going to
got an answer
go.
down.
I'm not 100% on this, but I think Murray had match points in all of them. I'm going to go B.
I know he had match points in some of them. I'm going to say A. I think he was just a break-up in the first set, rather than match points in all of them.
I can tell you that some of them were pretty straightforward straight sets victories, the first 2, before the epics that happened later on in the season. And the correct answer was that Murray was defeated on every surface. Clay, grass, outdoor hard, indoor hard. And that's the first time in one season that anyone has ever done that to Andy Murray. So I saw that and thought that was quite interesting, because it's rare that you'd see that the clash would be across every surface, including grass. So...
I just remember the most recent ones, and those involves match points, and that perhaps, I think, influenced my decisioning.
And I think he was 5-2 up in both of those final sets, so...
They sting. They still sting.
Yeah, and even, I think, even de Minaur's girlfriend, Katie Boulter, said, no more. Please, no more.
No.
Because it's too difficult to watch.
It's as bad as the Ashes, isn't it, really?
Katie Boulter's now getting involved because they're going to play against each other in the United Cup.
Well, she needs to win against de Minaur for Andy Murray to represent his honour. But question 8, we move on to, and we move on to some of the titleists of this year. So, which 2 players outside of the top 4 won 3 ATP titles this year?
As in 3 each?
Yes. So the top 4, they all won 3 or more titles, and only 2 other players won 3 titles. And these are ATP level, not Challenger level. Sorry, Andy Murray.
And you've got to get both right to get the point, have you?
If nobody gets any, and one person gets 1, I will let them have the point.
Oh, this is quite tough, Chris. I've got 2 names, but one of them's definitely not right.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on. Do I...
It's tricky because you
sorry,
have to do this in
can
real
I just
time.
clarify
Yeah.
the top 4 as in season-ending top 4?
Correct.
So I'm excluding
So,
Djokovic,
Djokovic,
Alcaraz,
Sinner,
Medvedev and Sinner.
Medvedev, yes.
Right, okay. Right.
Because they've rather
okay.
cleaned up on the tour this year.
Yes. Okay, I'm going to say Holger Rune and Bublik.
Bublik is not a bad guess at all. He did pick up 2 titles.
Oh,
And
I don't think Rune got 3 though, did he?
I believe he only got 1 this year.
Oh dear.
But he
Oh,
had
dear.
some big finals in Rome and in Monte Carlo, but he did win the title in Munich.
I was also had Adrian Manarino written down as a option.
Well, if you'd
but
written
I think,
that, I'll have to say
Kim.
you would have got the point. Joel, tell us.
Oh, is it actually Manarino?
It is.
I was going to put Manarino and Bublik. I thought
were
Bublik,
you?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I knew Manarino has had a great season. He's cleaned up, I feel, at like 250 level.
Damn. I feel bad for Kim, though. So I'm going to say you either both get the point or neither of you get the point, and you can decide. Do you both want the point?
I don't feel like I merited it, to be honest.
Okay,
so
we'll say
I think
neither
yeah.
get the point for that, but very good guesses because Bublik did do very well this season. I can tell you that the titles that Bublik took home were he won in Halle and Antwerp, And the answer I was looking for was Mannarino and Baez, Sebastian Baez, who won in Cordoba, Kitzbühel, and Winston-Salem. So
I would never have guessed
Interesting.
that.
very surprising. And Mannarino swept the field away in Newport, Astana, and Sofia. So very impressive from them. And moving on to our French round, because we have been our French question. We have been pretty harsh, I'd say, on the French number ones this year. And the Brits haven't had the best of seasons either, I should note. So we've been talking about Mannarino and the fact he took home 3 titles, but also on the tour, there were 4 French titleists apart from Mannarino. So what I'm looking for is the highest number of French titleists will get the point out of you two. So if you get 0, then obviously no one gets a point. So we're looking for 4 players who are French that won titles on the ATP Tour this year.
Oh, that's a great question. And a tough question.
I was honestly surprised when I saw just how well they've done, because Brits this year, I think we only took Washington with Dan Evans and maybe Rio with Norrie taking out Alcaraz. So, I mean, collectively, many, many more titles for the French.
I've instantly forgotten all French players. It doesn't include Mannarino in this then?
It doesn't. It would include players like Constant Lestienne.
He's not an answer then if you're giving him as
Corentin
one.
Moutet.
Right. Okay, I think I've got 4. I've got a reasonable 4, I think.
Nice. And I believe...
I do not have 4.
Are you going to go for 2 good ones, Joel? Or are you going to go for... You're starting, I believe, this one.
Yes.
And he's writing them down, viewers.
Yeah.
Listeners even.
I'm going to go for... I can only think of 3 names, to be honest.
Yes.
I'm relatively confident about Gael Monfils towards the end of the season on an indoor court. I'm going to assume Hughes Herbert picked up a title. And the only other person I can think of is... Actually, I'm going to leave it there. I'm only going to give you 2 because I'm not sure on the third one.
Right. I do think that Joel might have thought he said one player and said another. Kim, put him out of his misery.
I've written down 4 names. Humbert.
Not
Monfils.
Hughes Humbert.
Oh,
yeah.
no.
Yes, Monfils,
Not
yes.
Hugues Herbert, but Hugo Humbert. Monfils. Gasquet?
Gasquet, yes.
Very good, Kim.
And
Very
I
good.
put Quentin Halys.
Well, you got 3.
Or Arthur
so
Fee.
Arthur Fees is the
Oh,
answer.
Oh,
did
the
he
other
get
one?
a
Okay.
title?
He
I
did.
wrote
Hey.
5 down.
He won in Lyon. So, Kim, you did write 5. You did get 4. But you did get 3 that you said first. So
Okay.
the point does go to Kim. I would say that Pierre Humbert has not had the best season.
I think I got him mixed up
with
Hugo
Humbert.
Humbert.
I
Yeah.
thought
Different
so too.
person.
Who
Yeah.
took Metz. But yeah, Gasquet won in Auckland. Cast your mind back. We had Fils winning in Lyon, Monfils winning in Stockholm, and Humbert won in Metz. So very well done to all of them. And finally, we have to have a doubles question. This round has gone on forever, it would seem, with my 15 options for each question. But question 10, which doubles pair successfully defended their ATP Finals title? And it was the first time the title's been defended since 1994. And I believe that Kim is going first for this one.
This is
I'm
the only
writing
one
down
I've
my
been
answer for this
confident.
because I definitely know the answer.
You have to write it down. Yes, please. Thank you very much.
It's the only one I've been confident on, to be honest. Right, so as it's quite recent as well, it's Joe Salisbury and Rajiv Ram.
That is correct. Joel?
Hurrah.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Salisbury and
Yeah,
Ram.
Salisbury Ram.
Well, I mean, total up after that round, and now I think the fun is over for me, isn't it? This is where it gets nasty. Going first is way nicer, everybody.
So was that? Did I get? I think I got 4. I think
No,
I
you got
4.
5
Oh, did I
in
get
that round, and I got 4. Yeah.
I feel
Oh,
like Kim
okay.
got more than that, surely.
No,
I feel like
I've been totting
Kim
it
got
up.
9
5
and 10,
4.
and then she got... Oh, actually, you got 5. Question 5 right, and question 2. Oh, 4.
Which is 4. Yeah.
Goodness, this
Don't
is
worry,
harsh.
trust my tallying.
I'm just trying to get Kim the
50%.
victory. So well done, Joel, for that round.
Right, let's move on to the WTA round. And Kim, maybe this is like the ultimate boss battle, I feel. Because you're going up against Chris with my WTA Tour
This is like
questions.
eggheads.
At least Kim can relax after this one. She's been through a lot.
Right.
I'm ready for
I
WTA,
it.
think my questions are a
question
little
one.
bit. I think my questions are a little bit easier, but we'll see.
I hope so, because that seemed a bit difficult.
Okay. Question number 1 in the WTA round. In Auckland, who won her first match on the WTA Tour for 552 days? And I'm going to let Kim go first.
Yes, I do remember this being quite a big thing, and I think it's this person. Is it Venus Williams?
That is correct. Yes, it is
Yes.
Venus Williams, who did return to the tour in Auckland at the very start of the year.
With a great win, wasn't it? Against volley nets, I remember.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Of course,
Yeah.
you'd know who it was against.
Chris, I'm going to assume
I
you,
watched
you,
it, yeah.
you had that written down as well. So
I stayed up for that.
You stayed up for it. Well, I expect you to get that right then. So that's a point. That is 1 point apiece. Okay.
Oh, are we going chronologically through the season? I love this.
Next question, Chris to answer first. Where did Iga Swiatek win her first tour title of 2023?
Ooh, that's a great question. She hasn't... I don't think she had the best of starts of the season. I am not 100% sure. If I had to say, I would say Doha.
Okay, Doha. Kim?
I've put Indian Wells down.
Chris is right. It was Doha.
I think she dropped about 8 games
impressive.
that week,
Mm.
right?
Yeah, it was. It was Doha. Probably a little bit later than she would have liked, but yes, 1 point to you, Chris. Kim, you got nothing.
Oh,
You don't
okay.
have to rub it in.
Right. Okay. Next question. Question 3. What was significant about Barbora Krejcikova's run to the Dubai 1000 title? So there was a thing that she
Ooh.
did that not many people have done. I'm going to leave it there. And Kim, you get to go first on this, but I'm looking for a thing that Krejcikova did on her run to the Dubai 1000 title.
It's something that she did, because I wrote down sort of my possible answer, but it's not really what she did. I was thinking all her opponents either like retired during the match or, you know, she had a lot of walkovers, but that's nothing to do with her, is it? Unless you kind of are going down the lines of she won through retirement / walkover. I'm going to stick with that actually, because I can't think of a plausible option. So yeah, she won through her opponents always retiring or pulling out.
Okay.
I think it's going to be something like she beat the top 3 players, or maybe she beat all of her, because she wasn't ranked that highly at the time, so it could be to do with beating top 10 players. I'm going to say that she beat, I don't know how many rounds you play, she beat four top 10 players on her way to the title.
Oh, Chris, you were there, and then you went away from the right answer.
All top 10 players.
She became
All
only
Grand
the
Slam
5th
champions. No.
player to
All number
defeat
ones.
the top 3 en route
The top
to the
3.
title. Yes,
I could have got that.
very tough, but yes, that was what I was looking for.
That was
but
my first
unfortunately,
thought when I got the question.
It was
and
your
and
first thought. I thought you were
Always
going to
go
go
with
with
your
your
gut
instinct.
instinct.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Always
learned
go
the
with
hard
your
way. At least
Okay.
we're both wrong.
Right, next question. Question 4. Which song interrupted the semi-final between Iga Swiatek and Jessie Pegula during the semi-finals of the Canadian Open?
Oh my
Chris, you get to go
God.
first on this one.
I mean, they should have done it at the end of the season finals as well, but I believe it was Cotton Eye Joe.
That is correct. Yes, it was Cotton Eye Joe. Kim, did you write down that
No.
answer? No. Okay.
I wrote down "Call Me Maybe" by Carly Rae Jepsen.
Honestly, that's a
I
bop.
actually sort of wish it was that.
Yeah. I think last year we did have quite a lot of like those things that happen off court, like Rublev writing on the camera, and I always do badly at that. But Joel has been obsessed with Cotton Eye Joe this season.
I have been. It's Cotton Eye Joe, and the artist is Rednecks. So
have got that.
if you said that was a little bit of a bonus. But yeah, Cotton Eye Joe was what I was looking for. Okay, question 5. And this is, I'm looking for 2 names here to get the point.
Yes.
There was an all-British final in the Nottingham Open earlier this season. For 1 point, who were the 2 finalists? Kim, you get to go first.
I know this one. Hurrah. So it was, I remember watching it, it was Katie Boulter who beat Jodie Burrage quite comfortably.
That is correct. Yes, it was Burrage and Boulter. Boulter had a pretty good season, ended I think just outside top 50. But yeah, Chris, did you write down Burrage and Boulter?
I did indeed.
Sounds like a law firm or something.
Burrage and Boulter. Yeah, I trust them with my legal work.
Okay, right. Question 6. Which player finished as the ace leader on the tour with 462 aces across 64 matches? Chris, you get to go first.
That is a really good question. I'm not sure, but I'm going to go with Rybakina.
Rybakina is incorrect. It's not the correct answer I was looking for. Kim, do you have a alternative?
Yes, I do. I had actually written down Sabalenka. I don't know if that would be correct.
Sabalenka is also incorrect.
Oh, no.
Oh, goodness.
Okay.
Wait, can we think of it?
I'd also put Coco Gauff, but is that also incorrect?
You could put her there, but is also incorrect. The answer I was looking for, and Kim, I think you're going to kick yourself for this. It's
Garcia.
Caroline Garcia.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Well,
The
She didn't have that
Renaissance.
bad a season
The
then.
Renaissance.
What was she doing off the ground then? You know,
Yeah.
Oh, dear. Okay.
So no
we
one
are,
with the
we are
mark
not
there.
nailing this. We need some
I
redemption.
thought this round was easier than the ATP round.
I'm only annoyed at question 3, but the rest of them I wouldn't have got.
Right, next question. Which tournament did Elina Svitolina make her comeback in on the tour this season? And I think, Kim, you get to go first on this one.
I think I might know it. It's definitely around that time of the year. I think it's Geneva. No, maybe not.
Honestly,
You look very
you were
convinced.
very, very confident there, Kim.
You said going with Geneva?
I'm going to say Geneva, but your face just do very poker face. I'm not confident.
That's incorrect.
Oh, no.
It's not Geneva. I loved how confident you were, but it's absolutely not Geneva.
Oh, dear.
Chris, what did you have?
I watched this match and it was in Charleston.
Very
Oh,
good. It was the
dear.
Charleston Open. No special marks here, but do you know who she played in that first
I
match?
think it was Putintseva
Very good. She lost to
in
Putintseva
3 sets, I think.
In 3 sets.
She had a great comeback and yeah, it was very promising.
Very good. Very good. Right. Well, point to Chris there.
Kim has got a rough deal with WTA. She really has.
Did she win Geneva, though? There's
She won
definitely something-
Strasbourg. She won Strasbourg,
Oh.
yeah. But she played
she lives in Geneva.
some Portuguese tournaments, ITF events,
Oh, right.
where she
okay.
lost to Clara
That's
Towson, if you wanted that.
Definitely not
I can
Geneva,
tell you
then.
that happened.
All right. Next question. Who ended 2023 as the year-end doubles #1 ranked player?
Love this question.
Chris, you get to go first.
Well, Kim, you got an answer?
Oh, I was just saying, I think I do actually know this one.
Okay.
as
I
well.
am going to go
Well, not
for
that I knew the last one, but
pod favourite Storm Hunter. She clinched it at the end despite not taking a Grand Slam this year.
yeah, I also had Storm Hunter down.
Yes!
That is correct.
Here we
Point to
go.
both of you.
Operation Beat Joel.
She was the only player to break 6,000 points on the
She must
on
have
the
played a
doubles
lot.
tour this season. Yeah. So yeah, that is the correct answer. Well done. Well done. Well done. Right, 2 questions left. And these both have like a group of players, a pot of players that an answer could come from.
Or do we need multiple answers?
I just want one name. I just want one name. So this is question 9. There were only 4 players to achieve successful title defenses on the tour this season outside of a Grand Slam. For 1 mark, name me a player to achieve this.
Oh, I've already got 2.
Ooh, showing off
Chris.
now. I've got one. Do we just need one, Joel, to
Kim,
get the point?
I just need one name.
Okay.
One
Am I
name for
going
1 mark.
first? Elise Mertens.
That is very good, Kim. I was not expecting that to be the name coming out of your mouth, but yes, that is a correct answer. Well done.
Don't tell me where she did it. I just know she did do it. Morocco, I think.
Oh, very good. In
somewhere?
Monastir, yes.
It was Monastir. She loves it over there.
Chris, can you clear the board?
I really hope that this is a right one because I was so smug. But I went for Tatiana Maria in Colombia.
That is niche.
That is niche, but it's also a correct answer. And the answer, no, I was not expecting someone to give me. But yeah,
But
Tatiana Maria.
now I'm thinking of who else defended their titles.
Was it Leila Fernandez or someone like that as well?
So
No.
you could have given me
can I have one more
Mertens,
guess? One more
Maria,
guess.
and
Who else would I say?
On Jabor?
No, I'm not sure. This is a tricky
She's
one.
won anything. Swiatek.
yes, you could have had Swiatek because she'd won in Doha
yeah,
and
of course.
Stuttgart.
That's
Yeah.
course that one. I wrote her off because I was going to say the French Open.
French Open, yeah. And the final player you could have given me
was it Sabalenka?
Sertogenbosch champion.
Oh,
Ooh.
not Haddad Meyer. No.
No, that wasn't Haddad Meyer.
Ekaterina Alexandrova.
Alexandrova. She
yes,
did.
Yes.
Good. Well, honestly,
defended her title.
we really went for the hard options there, Kim.
I was actually. I almost want to give you more than 1 point there.
None of us.
Given how impressive that was.
None of us. I think it was a collective effort to impress there.
Okay, and final question. And I think Chris will be all over this. But
I
again,
hope
there's
so.
only 1 mark. There's only 1 mark available, and this could even be a really tough path for the courts. But the question is, there were 12 first-time WTA Main Tour singles champions this year. For 1 mark, name me one of them.
Ooh.
Okay.
Tough.
I definitely should be able to name more than one because when it rained, it poured. Am I first? Or am I just talking?
Yep.
Oh,
Chris?
I'm first. But there's one that sticks out, which is so budget, but I love it. I'm going to go for Maria Timofeeva because I remember I think she won in Budapest and she was a lucky loser and I just thought that was wild.
That is the correct answer. Very good. 19 years old, Timofeeva in Budapest. So yeah, you get the point. Kim, over to you.
Yeah. Oh, I feel
on,
like this
Kim.
person might have won a title last year, but Jasmine Paolini? You don't look confident.
That's an incorrect answer,
Oh,
Kim.
no. You could have had
That's
Katie
not
Boulter.
Right, you
Katie
could have
Boulter.
had Katie
God,
Boulter.
I could have, couldn't I?
Yes,
What
Katie
about-
Boulter.
Yeah, oh, okay.
There were
Alicia
2
Pa-
Italians.
Alicia Parks? Did she
yes,
also?
Alicia Parks. There were 2 Italians
Concervetto?
on the list. Cocciaretto was one of them. The other...
And then, can I guess this one?
There's a Chinese player.
There's 3 Chinese
Quinn
players.
Wen-jen, it was her first one.
I
Yep.
thought she'd won one already. That's
No.
like,
Zulin will be on
Very
the list.
good. Yeah. Yeah, you
Um,
could have had Wong. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Wong also won
Guangzhou.
one. I need another Italian. This is tricky. I know that it's not Bronzetti.
2. Yes, very good. It is
I've got
Bronzetti.
the wrong Italian then. Yeah.
But yes,
was
Alicia
stressful.
Parks as well in Lyon.
She's did nothing since.
Marta Kostuk.
In
Austin.
Austin, yes.
And the other players you could have had the oldest one on this list, Arantxa Rus.
I watched that match. I was
Oh.
there.
In
That's so
Hamburg.
embarrassing. I forgot that. I mean, that was a bad match. I wish I forgot it.
Ashlyn Kruger, United States
Would
in
never have got that.
Osaka. And in Cluj in Romania, you could have had Tamara Korpach. 28 years
Wow.
old. So
And
there
I
you
went
Wow.
go.
for Timmer Fever, and Kim didn't say Katie Boulter.
Oh dear. Right. Of results from that round, I've got 4 again, so I'm quite consistent at the very least. Chris is on a big total of 8.
We have gone hard. Listeners, we apologise for how hard this
This
has
should
been.
be fun, shouldn't it? I'm very annoyed that I didn't get the top 3 en route, but I'll take 8. I'll take it.
You've got 8, Chris. You beat me by, doubled my score.
Doubled your
So
score.
well done. So going into our break, where listeners can refresh and get a cup of tea to help the second half, I've got a total of 8. Chris has got a total of 8. And Joel's got a total of 5. However, Joel and Chris, you've still got another round to play. And I will be testing you next. So yeah, listeners, do take a quick break now, but do come back in the second half where we'll be entering quiz part 2, which includes some Grand Slam and team competitions, plus our impossible round. So if you thought it couldn't get any harder, it can. So do not go anywhere. We'll see you very shortly.
This podcast is brought to you in partnership with UTS.
And Tennis Weekly is proud to be the official podcast of the UTS Grand Final in London.
UTS is the world's newest, most exciting, innovative tennis league, playing an entirely reinvented game format that does away with traditional tennis rules.
And the UTS Grand Final is coming to London's XL Arena from the 15th to the 17th of December.
The Grand Final features the players who have won the UTS events from around the globe, guaranteeing the best of the best will be competing for the title in London.
Already confirmed are top players such as Andrey Rublev,
Gael, the Monfils.
Casper the Iceman Ruud.
with more players to be announced, including a local wildcard.
So if you are looking for the ultimate day out in London in the run-up to Christmas, then secure your tickets to the UTS Grand Final now.
Session passes start from £31 and day passes from just £51 for a guaranteed 6 matches.
Go to www.uts.live for more information or use the link in the description to purchase your tickets now.
We look forward to seeing you there.
This is the Tennis Weekly podcast brought to you by the UTS Grand Final. And now we're going to move on to round 3 of our holiday end of season quiz, where I will be posing questions for Joel and Chris.
Joel,
and
you're
all our
back
listeners.
in the game.
Back
So
in.
Joel, get ready
I'm feeling
to
confident.
get playing again.
I feel like I cheated by a very hard round, looking back, I would say. I think maybe we should have handicaps for that one.
Well, maybe everyone will be loving this round. I don't know, because I'm
Yes.
posing the questions now, so I'm in the power seat.
Maybe we should have started with this round. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. I think my round is on a par with yours, so I think we're all good. But yeah, listeners, do let us know how you all get on once you reach the end of the quiz.
Did you beat Kim?
Well, at the moment, it's looking like that's quite doable. So, right, Joel, you've got to try and beat
3.
Chris on this one
Okay.
because
Gotta get
you've got a
3.
deficit of 3. Yeah. Okay, so we're doing Grand Slams and team events. So, are you ready? Round 3.
Ready.
How many winners did Arina Sabalenka hit in the Australian Open final?
I
when
hope
she
this is
beat-
multiple choice.
Don't worry, I'm getting there. How many winners did Arina Sabalenka hit in the Australian Open final when she beat Elena Rybakina in 3 sets to claim her maiden Grand Slam final? You can get the point if you guess correctly with 5 on either side of the right answer. So you've got a bit of a margin to play with. You've got a bit of room for manoeuvre. But I want you to guess how many winners
So
she
we just
hit.
have to pluck a number.
Pluck a number, but if you're within 5 of either side of the correct answer, you still get the point.
Okay.
So you don't have to get it accurate.
Right.
Joel, give me a number. We'll go to you first.
I'm going to say 34.
34 winners from Joel. Okay. And Chris, how many do you have?
I think that's quite low because that match
It
went
was-
on. It was high
yeah.
quality. I actually went for nearer 50. I went for 50.
Oh, God. So the answer was 51.
Oh.
So stop it. Yeah, well done,
Is it
Chris.
actually?
No,
I was
yeah,
gonna
it
say
is.
I was gonna say 52 because my dad taught me never go for a round number when you're guessing.
Sorry, Kim. I
because-
thought you said unforced errors. I didn't hear winners. Can
How
we
many
repeat
unforced
the
errors?
question?
Is that the second question?
No, sadly not. But yeah,
That's
so
very
Joel,
positive.
you're too far out of the range, I'm afraid. But if anyone at home got 46 to 56, and you still get the point, if my maths is correct there.
I can't believe it was 51.
So, second question of round 3. Novak Djokovic and Carlos Alcaraz played one another in the Roland Garros semi-finals earlier in the year, but who faced off against each other in the second semi-final? So I need both players to get the point here. So just looking for who played the second semi-final at Roland Garros that wasn't Djokovic and Alcaraz.
I think I've got it.
And Chris, I'll be coming to you first.
I have to go first, don't I? So I know who one of the finalists was. Oh, I know it. It's Casper Ruud and Zverev, because Zverev made it back to the semi.
Correct, it is. Yeah, it is Casper Ruud and Sasha Zverev. Joel, who did you have? Yep.
Yeah.
I had Ruud and Zverev. I remember him getting back to where he got to before, and I remember obviously Ruud in that final just sort of rolling over in straight sets to Djokovic. So
where was that Ruud the rest of the season? That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
Actually, Zverev.
We know him for his inconsistency.
Yep. Next year it's his year.
Third time lucky. Okay, next question. Going to Wimbledon now.
Ooh.
Marketa Vondrousova won Wimbledon to claim her first Grand Slam title, but what was so special about her win? I mean, it's quite a vague question. I can give you a bit more of a clue.
No, I think I have an answer.
Something to do with her being the first something to win.
The first something.
I mean, you could say many things were special, can't you, I suppose? But she was the first something to win the title.
Okay, I'm gonna...
And it's Joel I'm going to first.
Okay, I don't think this is right. I'm going to say I don't think she was seeded. Was she seeded? I'm going to say first unseeded player to win the title.
And yeah, I should caveat this is open era achievement, so I don't want to offend anyone who came, much before. But yes, Joel, you are correct. She was the first unseeded.
Oh, I thought I had you there.
Player.
Yeah. I thought I had you there.
I was tossing
First
up between
unseeded.
two options, and then I went for first unseeded because I thought there's no way it would be the first player to win Wimbledon with a losing record on grass. Thought that was too specific.
So yeah, first unseeded player to win the women's title in the Open era. So well done, Vondrousova, and well done, Joel and Chris.
Unseeded Raducanu, just saying. Someone did it first at the US Open.
Yeah, this is Wimbledon though.
It's hard to get Raducanu into this
slams.
quiz, isn't it, this year?
Yeah, for 2023 it is. Maybe next year. Okay, on to the US Open. Coco Gauff became the 10th teenager to win the US Open women's title this year. But can you name 3 other teenagers who have also won this title?
Great question.
So actually,
sorry everybody.
The answer away, but
we've done it again.
So there are 10 in total, including Coco Gauff. But I'd like you to name 3 other teenagers in order to get the point from a long list. So, Chris, I believe I'm coming to you first.
I am just typing.
So have a moment to think. Listeners, have a moment to think. So there's quite a few options.
There are a lot of options. And we've got to get 3.
3, yeah, to get the point. I'm being quite stringent.
Okay. And how many are we allowed to name? We have to name 3 for 3, basically.
Well, you can name as many as you like if they're correct, I suppose, or, But yeah, I suppose if you've got 6 written down and only 3 are correct, I'll give you the point as long as you've got the correct 3 in there.
Okay.
So, yeah, do you want to...
Yes, I can kick us off. I went for Tracy Austin because she definitely... I think she won it multiple times as a teenager. I went for, obviously, Raducanu because spoiler alert, that one. Sorry, Kim. Bianca Andreescu won it at 19, I believe.
Yes, that's a great one.
Serena Williams won it as a teenager also. I had Martina Hingis down as well. And then I wasn't sure. I think that she won it in 2006, so she would have been 19 when Sharapova won it. So I had Sharapova on my list as well, and then I ran out of time before I had to answer the question.
That's all right. Joel, did you have any in addition to that?
No, but I did have 3 correct answers. I put Raducanu, Serena, and Hingis.
Nice.
Well done. Yeah, you both get the point.
I'm
So
surprised
the
I
full
forgot
list-
about Andreescu, though.
I think we all have
Yeah.
forgotten about her at the moment. She actually technically isn't
know.
entered for the Australian Open, and neither is Kvitova. I found that out today.
Yeah.
Who else could we have
So-
had?
You could also have had Svetlana Kuznetsova
Oh, wow.
A teenager. Wow.
and Monica Seles. I don't think either of you said her.
No.
But you covered everyone else. So obviously Coco Gauff, Serena Williams, Tracy Austin, Steffi Graf.
Oh, didn't say that.
Monica Seles, Martina Hingis, Svetlana Kuznetsova, Maria Sharapova, Bianca Andreescu, and Emma Raducanu.
Kim, this is too good for this quiz. This needed to be a par for the courts. Come,
yeah.
our US Open
US
coverage.
Open par for the courts.
Well, save it for next year, and hopefully you'll all have forgotten the answers by then.
I'm glad I had Chris Evert down. I'm glad I got rid of that at the last moment. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, she wasn't on the list. No.
No, Chris Evert isn't. No,
No.
she must have been
Goodness.
20. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. Well done, guys. Point each there. So the next question, going doubles for this one.
Oh, love it.
Which women's doubles pairing reached the final of the Wimbledon doubles for the loss of just 9 games, but ended up falling to Barbora Strycova and Su Wei Shea in the final?
That is
So
a really good.
Only dropped 9 games to get to the women's doubles final, but then lost.
Who's
Ooh.
first? Is it me?
And Joel's first. No, sorry, Joel was first.
That is tough. I was just thinking Su Wei in my head.
I
all the
thought
way
it was
through
going to
that
be multiple
question.
Grand Slams. Yeah.
Yes. But that is tough. I want to say there's like a Chinese pairing that I'm going to get wrong.
A cheeky
and
wang.
I just don't know their names. I'm going to say, I don't think this is right. I'm going to say, it's not right. Goff and Pagula.
That's a plausible guess, though, but it isn't correct, I'm afraid.
I
Chris,
went
any
for
ideas?
Hunter and Mertens because I think I remember them in the final.
Hunter and Mertens. You are correct. Well done, Chris. You get that point. Yeah, they absolutely annihilated their opposition. Loads of bagels. They did have a walkover and a retirement, but every other match they played, it was like loads of breadsticks, bagels. But then, just kind of lost in straight sets in the
trip
final.
to the final.
So, I saw that and thought, ooh. And I thought, as Storm Hunter is the year-end world number 1 for doubles, she's already been mentioned today.
I was
just do
actually
that
nervous
question for
about
her.
mentioning Elise Mertens because I just don't think I would have got the partner correct given how many partners that she has.
Well, she does. I mean, we should make sure that there's tennis partners that she has, but definitely a case that she's actually already binned off Storm Hunter going into next season. So maybe every doubles question, just say Mertens and partner.
Mertens and partner, love it.
Okay, we're going on to team events now. So got some
Oh,
Davis
no.
Cup, Billie Jean King Cup.
Please
and
no
also,
Hopman Cup.
there is a
United Cup.
United Cup question.
Okay, I can
later
handle that.
on. So we're doing Davis Cup first, which is quite recent. So hopefully this will be fresh in your mind.
I wasn't there though, Kim.
I know you weren't there, but if you've been tuning into our
extra
podcast,
pressure on me then.
Yeah.
you should absolutely know this next question.
I listened.
And to be fair, this is a slightly biased. Joel should absolutely get this. So the question is, what were Joel and Kim not able to have as a result of Yannick Sinner beating Novak Djokovic in the Davis Cup semi-finals from match point down?
I'm still
Ooh.
angry about it. I'm still devastated
Okay.
about it.
So
What were Joel and Kim not able to
I
have?
probably should answer this given the fact that Joel actually was there and knows the answer. But from listening, it's not alcoholic, which is a surprise. It's not a woo-woo or a Hugo. I think you missed out on the churros.
That is correct. We did miss out on the churros.
I
know,
listened,
and I know
guys. I
that's-
listened from my hospital bed.
That is proof that you listened. And
Yes.
Joel, I will
Well, he
give
w-
you
yeah.
that question,
He was
obviously.
there, yeah.
So that helps you, Joel.
We're
do it
still
against
missing
Chris.
out on the churros.
They actually have churros in the Christmas markets in Copenhagen. So if you pop over, You can make up for lost time now.
Post some to us.
Yeah, bring some home for Christmas.
So yes, a slightly cheeky question there. It wasn't tennis related particularly, but there we go.
That's really sorting out the fans from the quizzes.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Davis Cup, this is a tennis question. How many years had it been since Italy last won the Davis Cup before their victory in 2023? So how many years of hurt had it been for them?
I've got that sound phrase in the back of my head, so I know the answer to this, I think.
And
Unless
I think
my
we're
mind
going,
deceives
I'm
me.
pretty confident
but
as well.
Joel, we're going to you first on this one, aren't we? Yeah. It's very recent.
47.
Yes, 47 it was.
47. Correct. It is 47. You are correct.
That was on an episode tile. That's why I remember it.
Oh, right, yeah.
It was
I
the
shouldn't have done
headline.
such recent stuff, but, I didn't want to not do Davis Cup, and I just thought, well, I'll make this the slightly easier round, perhaps. Chris, you're on full marks for this round so far.
It's like you made it for me.
I know. Right, we're going on to Billie Jean King Cup next.
This is Joel's section, by the way. This is where he loves this.
Here we go. What player ranked 258 in the world was a pivotal part of Canada's Billie Jean King Cup winning side in the Billie Jean King Cup finals in Seville this November?
Ooh, this is tough. I'm going first, right?
You are. Yeah. Is this the hardest one of the rounds so far, do you think?
This is tricky.
I can think of the Canada Davis Cup team. The guy did really well, relatively unknown.
I'm partly thinking like what was Eugenie Bouchard's ranking, but it probably was lower than this. So when you say pivotal, that makes me think it has to be their kind of very young player surprise package. And I think, I don't know if I'm saying this right, but is it Stakusik?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Is it?
Joel, did you have that person written down?
I put Dabrowski's singles ranking.
Oh, right.
It honestly could be.
No, so Chris, you're still all on 100% in this round. It is Stakusic. Marina Stakusic is the player. She won one of the rubbers in the final to get them across the finish line. So I would say that's fairly pivotal. So well done, Chris. You get the point.
This is slowly becoming, will Chris get 100% in this round?
Yeah.
I'm actually still really annoyed I didn't get the top 3 players in the world for Barbara Krejcikova, and that's haunting me right now.
Okay, so another Billie Jean King Cup question.
Mm-hmm.
Team GB played France in the Billie Jean King Cup tie in April at Coventry Arena. The first day's play saw Harriet Dart and Katie Boulter go up against Elise Cornet and Caroline Garcia. But how many sets were played and what set scoreline did each set go to? So I need like 2 parts to this answer. How many sets were played on that day and what was the scoreline in all the sets?
That is tough.
I think I have a good idea of this.
You're up first,
I'm just going
Joel.
to write it down.
Who's up first? Is it me?
I think you're up first, yeah.
Ooh, okay. In the two singles rubbers.
Yeah, the first day's play.
So I remember Boulter Garcia because that was a fantastic match, and I want to say that was, I'm not 100% confident, but I think it was like a 7-6, 6-7, 7-6 win to Garcia, and then Dart. Sorry, who did Dart play?
Dart played Elise Cornet.
We watched that with Garcia.
I'm just going to say it was like 6-4, 6-3 Cornet.
Okay, here's a clue. Here's a clue. All of the sets were the same scoreline.
They were all tie breaks.
Oh.
And it was 7-6.
And how many sets?
Yeah. So it was 5 sets because Cornet beat Dart in straight sets. And it was 7-6, 6-7, 7-6 to Garcia. Then it was 7-6, 7-6 to Cornet.
Correct. I mean, yeah, the Cornet match was straight sets and the Garcia match was 3 sets. So it's
I
5
was
sets.
just- I
We
was
were
zoned
there,
out.
Joel.
I was
Tie
zoned
breaks.
out in that question.
We were literally watching
I'm
it.
sort of
with-
annoyed about that because I knew it was tie breaks in that Garcia match, but yeah, okay.
I mean, I could give you a token half point, but it might
No,
not
it's okay.
matter.
It's okay. I'm not going to lose any sleep.
Okay.
But remember, it was like we'd never seen that many tie breaks in a row. We couldn't believe it.
Yeah, it was a long day. I remember it. Yeah.
And Garcia
Excellent.
watched set point with us, right? Like for the Cornet dart match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
After
Exciting.
press. Yeah.
Okay. To
I actually really
finish
want to
off
get this right now.
this round. Yeah, this is the question. Will Chris get 100%? It's on the United Cup, and it's quite
no,
simply,
No way.
which country won the United Cup in January
I
2023?
know the answer.
Honestly.
I know the answer.
Who goes first? Is it me?
We're going to Chris first. Yeah.
Will I get full marks?
I really hope you get this wrong and I get this right. It would be.
Is that what you want? Right. I think it was the US. I think I remember Pegula beating Iga. I'm not sure if that was the final. Then I know that Italy. I'm going to say USA.
Is Chris correct? Has he got 100% in my round?
Oh God.
Oh, Italy were in the final. But who did they
it's
lose
going to be
to?
Canada, isn't it? But I said USA.
Italy lost to the United States. You are correct.
No.
I'll take that.
So Joel, did you have the
Did you get
United
that?
States as well?
Do you know what? I was really confident. I put Canada.
Stop it.
You
I
put
thought it was
Canada.
Canada.
Oh, you're joking.
That was my backup.
Oh, blimey. Okay.
I got
So-
my team. There's so many team competitions. I think I got it confused with Davis
The
Cup,
Davis Cup.
Billie Jean
before.
King Cup because they
Yeah.
were reigning champions for a
I
little
think
bit.
they won the what was the male
Did they win
one?
it the year before?
There was a male one at the start of the season.
Yes, they won
They
the
won
ATP
it the year
Cup.
before.
The ATP
Yeah.
Cup.
Yes,
So
that's
at one
what I
point
was
they had the
thinking.
Davis
God.
Cup and the ATP Cup at the
Yeah,
same
that's
time.
exactly what I was thinking. I thought there was something at the
Excellent.
start of the year.
At least we figured it out in the end.
Right. So on that round, Joel got 6 and Chris got 10. 100% to Chris. So do we
Oh,
want to do
no.
total scores from
Doesn't
the first
that
3
mean
rounds?
that Joel got 9?
Joel in total has got 11
Oh.
points. I've got 8 and Chris has 18.
I honestly wish that was 19 because I'm still annoyed. But I'm over it, guys. I'm over it.
I can't remember what the other one you got wrong was, but you dropped 2 in-
I didn't say Garcia.
Rebecca, yeah.
I'm gutted by that.
Yeah.
But hey,
so Chris has won by a country mile, but we do have an impossible round.
there's no
Ooh.
congratulations
No
from my
congratulations.
fellow hosts. No.
Your congratulations is the impossible round. And listeners, we put this together because
Oh,
we sort of
God.
suspected that Chris would
I'm actually-
dominate the quiz.
It's just I'm
and
nervous.
it would just go the way of all the quizzes we've done across the catch ups this season. So it almost felt like me and Kim, we sort of hatched a plan and we wanted to get our own back on Chris.
Okay, this sounds really,
So-
really pleasant.
So we put 5 questions together as part of an impossible round. And I'm really curious, Chris, to see if you get any of these correct.
What would be a good score for this? Any of them would be good.
Tough.
1.
1. Okay, I'll take that. Listeners, do play along and let me know if you get any of these as well.
So Kim, should we do this alternately? I
Yeah.
reckon?
It feels
yeah,
very
so
lonely.
Do you want to kick off? And we'll alternate the question asking.
Okay. First question of the impossible round.
Yes.
What is Grigor Dimitrov's nickname in UTS?
It's G Unit.
Oh, I mean it is. I mean, off to a great start. Wow.
As the official podcast of UTS London, I've been seeing a lot of their socials.
So right, we're just easing you in. Okay, so you have 1 impossible answer, correct?
Thank
Well
you.
done. Right. Which female player won the most singles titles on the ITF World Tour? And that includes ITF tournaments at the
Ooh.
180, 60, 40, 25 and 15 level.
That is a really good question. I think that it's going to be, I think it's a Czech teenager who has just been absolutely destroying the ITF circuit. But I'm not 100% sure. Oh, God. of what her name is. This is hard.
They won
guys.
7 titles on the ITF.
Wait, so how big a tournament do they have to be?
It can be up to one. It can be up to a ITF like W100.
I'm not sure, but the only thing I can think of is the Brenda Fruvertova is the only person I can think of, or it would be like some Spanish player just plays ITF. But I know that she won a lot, but I'm not sure if it was this year or last year.
What's your final answer?
I only have that, so I'm going to go Brenda Fruvertova.
Ooh. Well, it is actually correct. It is Brenda
Oh my
Fruvertova.
God, this is so stressful, guys. This is so stressful because you're like second guessing yourself.
Dear.
I thought that was hard.
Two
But
of
obviously, it
two.
wasn't hard enough.
At least, well, it was my first thought, but
Okay.
I'm not watching that many
Gut
ITF
instinct.
streams,
I'm worried,
guys.
Kim. Is Chris on for 100% in the impossible round? I really hope not.
I say
but
that
maybe it is.
G unit, all it takes is a quick look at the UTS website, Joel.
Okay, third question. For 1 point, name 3 male players whose current singles ranking puts them between 5 and 10 in the domestic rankings for Great Britain.
Ooh. 5
So I
and
want
10.
3 names of GB. If you looked at the top 10 ranked players, they would be between 5 and 10.
That is really tricky. So we know it's not going to be Norrie, Evans, Murray, Draper, or Liam, Brody. So we're really clutching at straws here. Ryan Pennison is the only one I can think of immediately. I know that a player that had good results on the, I think on the Challenger Tour. Is it Choinsky? And then I'm thinking Billy Harris.
I need 3 names. What are you giving me?
I'm going to give the 3 names that I've given.
So, Choinsky, Peniston, and Billy Harris.
Yeah, I've done. Oh no, I do have one more actually. I do have one more. This is from the shout out to the LTA for their updates, weekly updates, the media update. I think Arthur Ferry.
I mean, that is all fantastic. That is all correct. 4 names there.
I don't have a
They're
fifth.
all on the list.
I don't have a fifth. Who is it?
Charles Broome, you could have also had. And you could have had Liam Brody because I said 5 to 10. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Oh, it's Brody our number
Would have
5.
been 5, yeah.
I hadn't figured that one out. Well,
So
I'll
yeah,
take that.
there you go. Wow, well done.
God, that was stressful. Right, come on. Hit
Right,
me with it,
some
Kim.
more stress now. What was the name of the player who defeated Jodie Burrage at the Copper Box for Sweden's sole rubber victory in their Billie Jean King Cup tie against Great Britain?
Now this is not kind.
You know, you live in Scandinavia, so
Yeah.
maybe you should know this.
Well, I can tell you she was Swedish.
Correct.
I can tell you
her
that
ranking.
I can tell you that
that
I had
helps.
never heard of her, so I do not know, and I know she didn't play, but I have to say Peterson. I have no idea. I watched it as well, and I still don't know who she is. Who is it?
It's not actually far off. Peterson's quite a decent guess.
It's not Rebecca, though, is it?
No, it's Kasia Ronaldo Persson.
Well, she put on a fantastic performance, and as a real disservice to her, I did not know that, so I apologise.
Ranked 372 in the world at the time.
Burridge has to think.
So-
I mean, that was a big shame.
You're on 3 out of 4 in the impossible.
Well, I would like to
Round.
get. I'd like to get 4.
Okay.
One more
And
question to go.
This is a very tough one. It's the final question.
Yep.
How many tournaments were there on the ITF men's circuit this season? So I'm talking about the ITF futures that give 15 or 25 ranking points. And I'm going to allow 10 either side.
Well, there's going to be a lot. I literally wouldn't know where to start.
It's tough. It is tough. It is the final question in the quiz.
Oof. Do I get any indication? I'm going to say there's a lot each week. There's an awful lot.
I need a number.
I'm going to have to do some like basic mental maths. I'm going to say there's like 6 a week times by 52. I'm going to say there's maybe 320.
Unbelievably, that's an incorrect answer. It's 534 in total.
Wow.
I know. That's a crazy amount, isn't it?
I mean, when you look on the app, you see a lot of them, but I guess like you just, there's a lot of tennis being played out there.
It's just a lot of tennis. I know.
Well, maybe we should never have a week off.
I'm just glad we don't have to cover all of that because our episodes would just go
Kim
on
getting
and on
us
and on.
through 500 and something tournaments a year. I mean,
we'd be here recording every night, every day of the year.
It'd be
wouldn't
tennis
we, if we're
daily.
covering all that?
it really would
Tennis
be.
daily.
Wow. I mean, 3 out of 5. What do we think?
That's very, very good.
That's
very,
very
very commendable.
good.
I'll take
Well
that.
done, Chris.
I'll take that.
60% on the
God,
impossible
if
round.
I'd have missed the GB quiz, I think I'd never be able to show my face at a lawn tennis event in the future.
You've absolutely nailed the quiz tonight. You've only dropped 4 questions that were asked of you. So congratulations.
How many of the
And-
impossible ones did you know before you looked them up, or did you know them beforehand?
No, 0. Absolutely 0. I was like going on to the depths of Wikipedia and the internet.
I reckon Kim
To
could have
find
done
answers.
5 to 10 for the GB. No, Kim?
Yeah, I think I could have guessed
you
some
could have
names.
got 3.
Yeah,
Billie Harris has
that's
been
that one's
about.
plausible.
Yeah.
But no, I think Chris, well done.
Thanks,
It's
Kim.
very commendable.
It means a
and
lot.
Listener, I'm
I
just curious
do
to know how our
revise
listeners
though, I
got
should
on.
say. I do revise throughout the year by hosting a podcast about tennis every week.
Listeners, let us know how you got on. What round did you find the hardest? How well did you do? Did you beat me and Joel? Did you beat Chris? I mean,
Where
if
were
you
you on
beat
the
Chris,
scale? Yeah,
that's
Where are you on the
fantastic.
scale?
Yeah.
We need
Yeah.
to know.
And if
Are you a
did,
Joel, Kim, or Chris?
if you did beat all of us, then do tell us, and we'll put you on our socials, and we'll give you a retweet.
Yes, listeners. We're going to end it there, though. I hope you've enjoyed listening to all of our episodes this season, our catch-ups, our round-by-rounds, Tennis Weekly meets, and our Tennis Weekly quiz. Remember, if you have enjoyed listening to any of our episodes and you want to show your support for the show, then make sure to support our crowdfund, which has gone live today. The link is in the description. It's on GoFundMe. If you search on Google Tennis Weekly Podcast GoFundMe, it'll come up. But the link is in the description. It's www.gofundme.com/tennis-weekly-2024. So we're going to leave you with that message. We will be back next season. So I hope you can join us then. But as I say, thank you so much for joining us for all of our episodes this season. The tennis season, it never stops, and it's not going to stop next season as well, next year. So, we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, and thanks for joining us along the journey this season. It's been fantastic to have you all on board. And, well, we wish everyone a very nice, relaxing holiday period as well. Once you've, completed the quiz, of course, and got that out of the way, because, that's quite an intense hour, wasn't it?
We can relax now,
Putting our brains to a good, solid test there. But, thank you so much, everyone. And if you're celebrating Christmas, happy Christmas. And we'll see you, I guess, in the new year when it all kicks off again.
And for one final time, listeners, I hope you've enjoyed our latest episode of the Tennis Weekly podcast. Remember to subscribe to us to stay up to date for all of the action to come in the 2024 season.
We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all major podcasting platforms out there. And if you like what you're hearing, then do make sure to leave us a rating and review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify.
You can also follow us on social media or email the show. We're on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and X. And the handle for that is Tennis Weekly Pod. We also have that exclusive discount of 20% for Christmas on our Etsy store. So if you'd like to support the podcast, then go to etsy.com/shop/tennisweeklypodcast. You can also email the show and tell us what your score was Obviously, you can talk to us on social media as well, but to email us, it's tennisweeklypod@gmail.com, or check out our website, tennisweekly.co.uk.
And though the ATP and WTA seasons are at an end, we have one final bonus podcast to come at the UTS Grand Final in London. So I hope you can join us for that. But in the meantime, it's goodbye from Kim.
Goodbye.
It's goodbye from Chris.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from me. We'll see you again soon.